Hey guys, welcome to another video. I know I'm not in my usual spot. Sometimes I like to switch it up, but if I'm being honest, I just didn't want to keep going up and down stairs. As you can tell, I'm in the same outfit as I was in last week's video, and I will be in the same outfit for Friday's video, because remember, I'm doing twice a week now, and I didn't want to keep going up and down the steps. It's a lot of work for me right now, especially if I'm carrying a lot of books, and with the filming I'm doing today, I would be carrying a lot of books. So this is temporary. It should just be for this week. Next week we'll go back to my regular destination. Enjoy. Actually, I'm taking my glasses off. I know I never do that, but the glare is distracting and the lighting is not the best, so I apologize. But I had a comment a while ago, and I'm so sorry that it took so long for me to get this video out, but someone asked if I could do a video on single POV romance books. Now, I thought that I had read a lot more than what I have, so there's not that many, but there's, I think, a decent amount. There's really not that much. There's 5 books here that I have, and we're just gonna talk about them. And not next week, Friday's video is going to be my favorite dual POV romance books, where you'll get his and her perspective. I've read a lot of those, so I will only do ones that I really liked. This is everyone that I've read. Again, I didn't hate any of these books, but I will share my thoughts and opinions on them as we go. First, you guys already know my thoughts on this book. If you'd been with me, I love this book. I adore it, but it is so heartbreaking and tragic that you will most definitely cry at the end of it. There is a second book to this, but I'm not including it because it does have multiple POVs, so it does not count in this video. But you could honestly read this book alone. You could read this book without needing the other book. That's what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't need the second book. I think Laura Nowlin just wrote it because the fans really wanted it, and she was able to find a way to continue the story and end it in a beautifully tragic way, of course. But this was really good. It follows Autumn and her going through high school. So it starts her freshman year and ends a couple months before she starts college, or she's supposed to. And her neighbor / childhood best friend Finn, they were childhood best friends, but then something happened in middle school, and when they get to high school, they're no longer talking to each other. So it's kind of them trying to exist because their moms are best friends, so they're trying to coexist and possibly mend their friendship. And let's just say a lot more than friendship comes out of this. It's so beautiful, but so tragic, and I have made it a point to read this book every year because this is the book that got me into reading, and it is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I can gush over this book all day, and it's beautiful. I also really love the cover. It is, honestly, it's perfect for the story, and it fits, and it's just, I love it. Okay, I need to move on because I love it so much. Next, we've got Addicted to You. This is in Lily Calloway's perspective. I need to finish the series, but at least I know I liked this book, and this is a good one. She is a addict, and so is her childhood best friend, and they are also fake dating for their families because they both come from rich families that want them to be together, essentially, because they're from rich families, and so they're fake dating to please his and her family, and they're both addicts of different things, and the things that happen in this book really put their love to the test, and I have heard so many good things about this whole series, and I'm so excited to like jump back in. I'm probably going to reread this book when the time comes for me to get more of the series, just so it's all fresh in my mind. I would like to have all the books before I jump back in, but that's probably not going to happen, so I'll just have to get what I can. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's really just like kind of setting it up for the other books, but it ends kind of on a cliffhanger, and it leaves you needing more. Like, this book, you'll be heartbroken, but you'll, for the most part, be satisfied, and you won't need more. You just might want more. This book, you will need more. You will be like, okay, well, what the heck? I need more. Give me more. That's how you'll be with this book. Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was not heartbreaking like this one, so you probably won't cry during this one. The next one I have is Love in Other Words. This was a really popular book, I think last year, or the year before, I don't remember. But this was good, but it was not my favorite. I would not put this in the same category as these two. These two are like 5 stars. This I'll give like a 3.5. It's from Macy's perspective, and again, childhood best friends. Have you noticed a pattern? Because I have. They're childhood best friends, and something happens when they're teenagers, and they lose connection. And on a random Tuesday, they run into each other, I believe in a cafe, and I think he kind of follows her and convinces her to meet up with him, and they kind of just talk it all out, and they end up fixing what was broken all those years ago. This one is not heartbreaking at all. There is a point where we find out what happened, because I mean, duh, where you might want to cry a little bit, or you'll just be upset. I think I was more upset, but I saw some people cry over this book. So you'll either want to cry, or you'll just want to scream at them for miscommunication purposes. But this wasn't horrible. This wasn't my favorite, but so many people liked this book, I figured why not include it, because even though I wasn't the biggest fan, that doesn't mean you won't, and that's honestly how I feel for the next 2 books. But yeah, that's all I have to say. It's also been a while since I read this book, so my memory might be a little fuzzy on it. But let's just jump in. Now, this one I did not like. But again, just because I did not like it doesn't mean you won't. It is Priest. I did not like it. Which is weird, because I'm a dark romance girly. I love a good dark romance. And I thought I would like this, but I didn't. But I have heard good things about the other 2 books. I just don't know if I'm willing to give them a chance, at least not yet. So I don't know. I will say read this one at your own will. Look up trigger warnings 100%. This book didn't trigger me, it didn't fulfill me, and it was a little too much for me. So if you're one of those girls that's like really into smut heavy books, I would pick this up. It does have a lot of religion in it. He's a priest, he's Catholic, so just be aware of that. And they do have a lot of like Catholic stuff going on. So crazy. I grew up Catholic and I'm just like blinking. I think because this book was so bad and it just like I don't even know, but they had like one scene in the church that just, I wanted to skip that chapter. Like, I uploaded a video a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, about people just skipping chapters to get to the smut or dialogue. I was tempted to skip the smut in this book. I don't know why I kept going, but I did. I finished it because I'm too stubborn to stop. So yeah, that's this book. Again, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you won't. And if religion doesn't bother you and you're a very like smut heavy type reader, this very well could be a good book for you. But definitely look up triggers and pick it up at your own risk. That's what I'll say. And then this one, I'm not sure if you would count it as a romance. I kind of do, just because there was a little scene at the end, so I'll put it in here. But it's in 5 years. It wasn't horrible like this one. I don't feel as strongly as I do with this one. But it was just kind of boring. And then the ending, how it happened, I didn't like. I was actually kind of mad. But some people liked it. I have seen people really like this book. So again, just because it's not my favorite doesn't mean you won't like it. But it's about a girl who is supposed to marry this one man, but then she dreams about another man, and she just kind of like goes into like a panic, I guess. And it takes 5 years. Like this book takes 5 years. With how small it is, I was shocked too. But some stuff happens. I'm trying so hard not to spoil these books because it's book recommendations. So something happens to her friend, and it causes her dream to come true, and she freaks out, and her freaking out is what makes it happen. And it's, I don't know, I was confused and I didn't really care for it. I was bored. I was just finishing it so I could finish it, especially since it's so small. I didn't care for it, but that's okay. And these were my 5 book recs for single POVs. None of these switch perspective. These are all just one perspective. I will say this is the only perspective where it's from the male. This is all just the man's perspective. The rest are all female. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Next video is gonna be Friday, and I'm going to do my favorite dual POV romances because I've got a lot more of those. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Look for it Friday. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day. I will see you next time. Bye.